Hello, I've got a very lovely video. But yeah, so first I'd like to say I'm at 145 subscribers and I got a bunch this week. I think like maybe 10 this week. So like, thank y'all. And so yeah, make sure y'all subscribe because remember at 1,000 subs, I'm doing a Charizard UPC giveaway, which at the moment is like almost $350 for the UPC. Also, I've got some great videos coming. I've got some great mail days coming because literally like last night or 2 nights ago, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I just spent like 300. I think it was like almost three. I think it was like $275. So like, yeah, I got some great stuff coming. But I did want to start out by saying, here's my lovely Tcgplayer sale I got today. Great card, Japanese Gallade. So the video today is talking about like why I'm taking stuff off my Tcgplayer for now. And so I'm just gonna explain the story, and I'm gonna show off some of these cards. Look at this. Look at this card right here. This is a few $100s, and look how damaged it is. I've shown this off before. Okay. The thing is, I might, okay, I just like saying, even if it's not gonna, for some reason, might not happen, but I might be, I might be able to vend at a card show, soon. So what I decided to do was, at card shows, what you want is you want cards that people would buy, that it doesn't matter the price necessarily, but just people would buy it at a card show that's more, that's not as niche as something like, say, this. So I sold this for $2, but at a card show, if this is listed for $2, just this Japanese holo, it's probably not going to get sold, whereas something like this would get sold. So with Tcgplayer, I've talked about their fees. I don't like their fees at all. So they have 12.75% fee on each order, plus a 30-cent flat fee for each order, and then you have to actually ship the cards and everything, right? And then on top of that, you have to pay taxes on what you made. So if I send my average order is around $10, and so 12.7, we're gonna say 13% would get me to $8.70. A 30 cents flat fee would get me to $8.40, and then shipping it for 90 cents would be what? $7.50. So on a $10 order, I'm literally losing 25% of my sale, plus I'm paying taxes on any profits that I made. And so it's like at that point, my $10 card turns into like $6 to go into the legendary collection master set. Oh wait, before I continue, look at this. I don't know if you saw my other videos. There's usually 2 prismatic Pokemon Center ETBs. I decided to switch one of my prismatics for Paldean Fate's Pokemon Center ETB. Don't worry, I might bring the other one back just because, you know, I'm realizing it's less symmetrical because, you know, there were 2 on both sides. With my Evolving Skies ETB, of course. I'm never taking this one out. But yeah, so I might do that. So I might swap them out. So next video, you might see my prismatic Pokemon Center ETB. Although I've got a bunch more. I've got other Pokemon Center ETBs that are expensive. So what I've got, I think maybe 7 ETBs in total, which I'll get more. Don't worry. And I can just like start like swapping them out. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you all saw my short, this is my little Rayquaza tail. If you can see. Oh look, there's Rayquaza. So yeah, back to what I was saying. So at a card show though, yes, you're buying the table, but it's also like there's an experience to it. And you're not paying all those fees. So if you sell a card for $10, you're getting $10. And even if you gave it sold at 90%, you're making $9 compared to the 7.5 that I talked about. So, but stuff like, all of these cards you can just list on the table, and almost every single one of these are going to sell on the Tcgplayer, not Tcgplayer, at a card show. Whereas something like this, let me get this one. I would definitely, anything super expensive, something like this is getting taken off Tcgplayer. But whereas like stuff like maybe this card right here, this is a very niche card because it's it's completely damaged as you can see, but it's a World Championship 2015. Something like this is probably not selling at a card show. So something like this would be taken off the Tcgplayer. And then holos, like I'm not bringing a bunch of holos to a card show, so these would stay on the Tcgplayer, whereas these ones, sorry, that's not in camera, my bad. Whereas these ones would go, and then all these like regular stuff, like this is very niche. So I've sold these before. They're like $1 each, but nobody's about to spend $1 on a Japanese holographic energy at a card show, where someone collecting these would buy them on Tcgplayer. And so like stuff like that, yeah, oh, don't mind my flipped over cards. Stuff like that would be, you know, so those niche things would be sold on the Tcgplayer. But stuff like this, right? these are only like $1 each. Or not these two. This one's like $20. This one's like $8. So these are only like $1 each, and I've got so many of them. Oh, not this one. This one's like $6. Where'd it go? And so that would be sold on the at the card show, where like even these Japanese ones, these ones could be sold for like $1 or $2 at a card show, and it's like, why would I, go through all the Tcgplayer fees and all the taxes if I could just sell it at a card show? Oh, this card right here on this side. This is actually something cool. I gotta you'll see it maybe it'll come in like a week or two, but I might have bought some of these cards. They might have, they might be graded. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So these two, these probably would all go on the go to the card show. Oh, this one's expensive. It's like $30. And yeah. So these would all like where to go? Like Volcanion, Sharpedo, Lugia. Lugia would definitely go. And so these would all be able to go to a card show. Whereas over here, this pile, stuff like this, like the Japanese one would, and these would, but like all these hollows over here, I'm able to sell these for like $1 or $2, because that's like their market price. They're expensive. Like it's a Pikachu, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe like 50 cents, but like these are not selling at a card show, and they're just taking up space. So something like that, I wouldn't sell at a card show. But yeah, so that's just explaining it, because it's like, I would prefer that if I'm selling a card, or if I'm buying a card for $10, I would prefer all 10 of those dollars goes to the person itself, so that they can, put that money back into the hobby, whereas Tcgplayer, they just keep the money. But like, yeah, so that's my whole game plan there, and yeah, I hope this dude right here likes his new card. Although I also have to say, I might have another video coming out soon, because I'm sending a few of my Legendary Collection reverses to PSA to finally get those graded. So yeah, but yeah, so that's the very lovely, oh, my bad. That's the very lovely video, and yeah, don't worry. Make sure you all watch my upcoming mail days, because I bought a lot of stuff, and I think I got a new playmat, so I can finally, switch this playmat out. But yeah, that's it. Happy collecting, and have a very, very lovely day. Make sure you all subscribe. Get us to 1,000 subscribers.